Welcome to a new e-learning paradigm, a plusmap.ai.
All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most common stumbling blocks in economics, the difference between a movement along a curve and a shift of an entire curve. You know, getting this right isn't just about passing a test. It's about really starting to think like an economist. So let's break it down and make it simple.
So you see these two phrases all the time, change in quantity demanded and change in demand. They sound almost identical, right? But in the world of economics, the difference is massive. Nailing this distinction is absolutely crucial, and we're about to make it crystal clear. Okay, first up, let's talk about a movement. I want you to think of it like this. You're walking on a clearly marked path. You can go forwards, you can go backwards, but you are staying on that same path. That is exactly what's happening with the curve here. We're not leaving it, we're just moving along it. So by definition, a change in quantity demanded is a movement from one point to another, let's say from point A to point B, but it's on the same demand curve. The most important word there is same. The overall desire for the product hasn't really changed, we're just seeing how people react to a different price. So what causes this movement? This is the golden rule. You have to remember this. A change in quantity demanded has only one cause, a change in the price of that specific good itself. That's it, nothing else. Not what your friend is buying, not if you got a raise, just the price tag on that one item.
And you can see that happening right here on this graph. Take a look. When the price drops from P1 down to P2, what happens? We don't jump off the path. We just slide down along that existing demand curve, D, and the quantity people want goes up from Q1 to Q2. It's a simple, direct response along the same curve.
Now, let's switch gears and look at the other concept, a shift. If a movement was like walking on a path, a shift is like the entire path gets picked up and moved to a whole new location. We're not on the original curve anymore. This is a fundamental game-changing event. So, a change in demand, notice no quantity in there, means the entire curve itself relocates. It moves. If it shifts to the right, that's an increase in demand. If it shifts to the left, that's a decrease. This means that at every single price point, people now want to buy more or less than they did before.
So what could possibly cause the whole curve to just pack up and move? Well, it's caused by what economists call a non-price determinant. That might sound a little technical, but it's really simple. It's literally any factor that changes your mind about buying something other than the price of the item itself. Just look at this graph. When the whole curve jumps from D1 over to D2, that's a demand increase. You can pick any price you want on that vertical line, and if you look across, you'll see that the quantity people want to buy is now way higher on that new D2 curve. The basic rules of the market have changed.
Okay, you might be thinking, how am I supposed to remember all of these non-price determinant things? Don't worry, we've got a trick for that. It's a simple little mnemonic that will be your best friend for this topic. For all the things that shift the demand curve, just remember timer. Timer lays out the 5 big shifters. T is for tastes, like when a product suddenly goes viral on social media. I is for income, whether people have more or less money to spend. M is for market size, basically the number of buyers. E is for expectations, like if you think something's going to go on sale next week. And R is for the price of related goods, like substitutes or complements. If any of those 5 things change, the whole demand curve shifts.
All right, so you've pretty much nailed demand shifters. And the best part? The supply side follows the exact same logic. A shift is still caused by something other than the price. It's just that for producers, we have a different set of factors to think about. And yep, we've got a handy mnemonic for that one too.
For supply, the word to remember is ROTN. It stands for a resource costs, like if the price of steel or wood goes up, other goods prices that a producer could make instead. The first T is for technology, like a new invention that makes production faster. The second T is for taxes and subsidies from the government. E is for the seller's expectations about future prices. N is for the number of sellers in the market. Any of these will shift the supply curve.
Okay, phew, we have covered a lot of ground. We've talked about movement, shift, timer, rotten. So let's just put it all together. I'm going to give you the ultimate pro tip, a final summary that's going to lock this whole concept in for good.
Here it is, side by side. So simple. A movement along the curve is caused only by the price of the good itself. And the effect? You just stay on the same curve. A shift of the curve is caused by any of those other things, our timer or rotten factors. And what's the effect? The entire curve moves left or right. That's really the whole thing in one little chart. So let's end with a quick pop quiz. A huge celebrity endorses a new brand of sneakers. What happens to the demand curve for those sneakers? Is it a movement or is it a shift? Just think back to our mnemonic, timer. That's right, it's a shift. The celebrity endorsement changes consumer tastes and preferences. That's the T in timer. So the entire demand curve moves to the right. See? You've got this. Now you really know the difference.
We hope you're excited for what's next. For more learning materials, please visit aplusmap.ai.